115 million people of the 160 million people that work in our country today woke up kicking, screaming, whining, complaining, and crying because they have to go to work. Because they hate it. They absolutely hate their job. Now that 45 million that's different of the 115 versus the 160 million, that 45 million, they enjoy doing what they're doing. And they represent 80% of the wealth that's created, the results that's created, the production that's created in our country. 45 million workers are splitting up 80% of all the good stuff in our country. While 115 million go to work discontent, frustrated, upset, and depressed almost every single day, but especially Mondays and Tuesdays. Now my question to you is, how do we change this? How can you change that? And I think you find the answer in a Muhammad Ali quote. He said this: "I hated waking up every single day to exercise, but I loved being a world champion." So now here's how we decide and how we separate ourselves from the 115 million people who are frustrated and depressed and will end up dying poor. How do we switch into that other group that focuses on being a world champion, or how they feel like a world champion? And I want you to think about this. Muhammad Ali, 99% of his life was outside the ring, which means it was the practice, preparing to be a world champion. That was 99% of his life. So we could say Muhammad Ali hated 99% of everything he did to become a world champion. But he focused on being a world champion, which it was that minute when they raised his hand up and said, "Our new world champion, or our continuing world champion, reigning world champion is Muhammad Ali." That's what he lived for. That's what he loved, to hear those words and to become that. But the majority of what he had to do to get there, he hated doing. Now I understand this because for 30 years I've been in sales. And for 30 years, the majority of the things that sales requires of you to be successful, I hate. And I'm really successful at what I do, but I hate the majority of it. I hate cold calling. I hate networking. I hate small talk. I really hate the paperwork and the details of the business. That's the majority of the work. To become successful in sales, you have to do those things. I just figured out, like Muhammad Ali, what makes me feel like a world champion? Well, what makes me feel like a world champion is helping businesses do what everyone says is the impossible, helping them succeed, helping especially distressed businesses turn around in a really short period of time. I love that. That is my how to make me feel like a world champion, and I focus on that. And therefore, when I come to work, I come excited, even when I have to do the things that I hate, which is the majority of what I have to do every day. So my question to you again is, what makes you feel like a world champion? Focus on that, and not the ugly stuff, the things that you hate. Do what Muhammad Ali did every day. He woke up looking and expecting and believing and focusing on being a world champion. And then every day was glorious. Every day he showed up with passion and energy, and he did those things with zeal, and he became a world champion. Focus today on what makes you feel like a world champion, to become a world champion at your job, career, or profession. My name is Ed Carcarey, and I'd love to connect with you at edcarcarey.com. Find your passion, you'll find your life.